October 6th. It's approximately 11:40 EST, 3:40 p.m. UTC for our Euros on the other side of the pond. How's it going, boys? How's your weekend?
Jimmy out. We're
Watching
up
this
only
Saturday
staring at the
pump.
charts. Yeah,
Le
staring at the
return
chart.
of Le Pump. Bro, BTC and ETH are going for it. ETH almost 47. I know yesterday I was talking to my father-in-law, and he was like, he always wants to know what the price of Bitcoin and ETH are. He's a very passive investor. He doesn't really just wants to know. He's big in the
And
metals.
Dogecoin.
He's a jewelry guy, gold bug. Just as I'm mentioning it, UTXO gold almost 4K. Yeah, I heard about it all day yesterday.
Nice.
Cozy, you hear? You see? Gold 39.20. Later on at night, Cozy gold 39.47. It's very good, And my brother-in-law, he's like, it's all the crypto bros slamming into other assets, and I was like, nah, dude, crypto bros are slamming into Pokemon cards.
Gold pumped like twice the Bitcoin market cap since like April or something, right?
Mm-hmm. I
Like
read
it
something.
pumped
I forgot.
more
I
than
wish I
there
could find
are
it.
Bitcoin.
Who was? It was some TradFi guy. He was talking about how he's expecting some credit crisis to happen, and that is why he sees this flight to gold. But I just think everything's going up. I don't think it has to do with necessarily a credit crisis, but we
Yeah.
got the trumpet, sounding the alarm about stimmies, and you
Mhm.
know where that money goes to, right into fucking risk assets. So no one's using that to pay their mortgage or their rent. They're shoving that all their Robinhood, Coinbase accounts, going to the casino, going to buy some new clothes. Everyone's buying the things that they couldn't buy with their normal money. Let me see here. What are options looking like right now?
But even like JP Morgan is like,
Dude, fuck JP Morgan. All right. I'm so sick and tired of them. Yeah, they're like, we see Bitcoin hitting 165K. You know what, dude? Fuck you. You fucking dropped me as a client because my income was all from crypto. And then literally a couple months later, you start fucking jerking off
Yeah.
to Bitcoin and ETH and shit.
Yeah, fucking TradFi scammers.
no, but they're not saying Bitcoin. They mean IBIT. That's the only thing they're talking about. If you hold IBIT and ETH, you're fine. If you hold crypto, you're not.
BTC needs a 42%, so probably now approximately 40% market cap jump to match private gold holdings, implying a 165,000 price target. So they didn't even really give a target. They just said
If
that
you
they
want to
could
beat
see.
gold.
Yeah, they're talking about this debasement trade. Everyone is, and we've talked about this before, like really just comes down to like people don't really have faith in the dollar. They would rather hold things other than the dollar. That's why the younger generation of investors are slamming into fucking holographic trading cards, and the more mature investors who want risk assets other than stocks are shoving into gold and other metals. And what's uranium at? Surprise, fucking everyone's been real quiet about fucking uranium, but
It's up. It's up. It was almost at all-time high. Or not all-time
UTXO
high,
knows,
but
man,
but
we were fucking
it
early
was
to that
flying.
shit.
It's like 82 or something right now. All-time high is like 90s, I think. So we're
So
creeping up on all-time high. No, but don't you just look at Pokemon cards like it's just another market. It's just like sneakers, like
I see
it,
them. Well, they're different. I see it a little bit differently than sneakers because sneakers aren't as liquid or tradable. Like they don't have the same market as Pokemon cards do. Uh, But yes, I do see it as a market similar to that. Pokemon cards have more of a widespread appeal than sneakers do. Like people will walk into like a sneaker shop, right? Like a boutique sneaker shop, and they have a problem spending $5,000 for a pair of, bespoke Jordans. Whereas I know a lot of people that have no problem dropping $5,000 on a Pokemon card because it's tangible, it's holographic, it's graded, it's fucking, like there's a market for it. Uh, there's not the same kind of market for sneakers. You got a few websites that you can trade them on or sell them on. And then other than that, you got to go to a fucking, expo.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, it's just another market, right? Like, I don't think that the crypto bros are pumping gold. That's way
Oh,
too
I don't
much
think so
money.
at all.
Way too
I
much
do
money
think
for
they're
them.
pumping Pokemon cards.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
they're pumping like a smaller, I don't not market cap, but just market in general. Pull
They're
up that
they're
that
pumping the
AMD chart
closest
to me.
thing to NFTs they could find right now, which are
Exactly.
Pokemon cards.
And then NFTs are just dead, right? Like,
That are much more well liked
I don't know, Punk
across the world.
Strategy, the micro strategy spinoff for punks is up like 75%, 100%, something like that. Like they're up quite a bit. But I gotta say, like, that is the one market that I don't know if I'll ever go back into. Like there was a time and a place to trade NFTs. There was,
Yeah,
an insane amount of liquidity that came into them. And it came from a lot of crypto aligned and based institutions and VCs that had an interest in accumulating and pumping NFTs. I think I see it a very like large parallel to last cycle's NFT market and the early this cycle's meme market, where you had meme coins going to hundreds of millions, $1 billion market caps, and everyone on the lower level in the trenches thought that it was just them, the trenches doing it. But if you knew anything, you knew that there were tons of, there was tons of big boy money that was coming into play because they saw this opportunity for outsized gains from some low liquidity sector of the market that had outsized attention to it. And that was exactly what happened with NFTs when they were doing what they were doing. There was this huge push towards generative art, on-chain generative art. There were a lot of really big named and well-renowned artists that came in and started launching things, and it created kind of the perfect catalyst for extraction. And you saw that again with, early on meme market, and now you look at where memes are in the trenches, and it is almost identical to like the NFT market. I think the difference is that memes are eternal, and some could say art is too, but I think the type of attention that comes to memes is much more fluid than what comes to art. Art usually attracts a much different and more mature audience than memes do, whereas everyone can appreciate memes. So that type of attention and liquidity can flow back and forth. And I don't think that the art market on chain will see something like that again.
or is it just like another cycle? Like in 20 years, we're gonna be like, oh my God, it's so back, right? Like Pokemon cards went silent. I mean, in my lifetime, 30 years, it was dead for more than half of that. And now it's just coming back like in the past
No,
2, 3
Pokemon
years.
cards were never dead. It's just that now they're being pumped to Valhalla. Like
Mm.
Pokemon cards have been gaining value since the beginning because of I think number one, the series itself has continued to evolve. Video games, toys, like the whole gamut of collectibles that surround Pokemon in general. And the characters themselves, I think, are have this kind of like eternal standing power, the main characters of it. So I think it's much different than art, on-chain
I
art.
thought
You know,
I
like
thought there
Ethereum.
could have been a Solana NFT run, but it literally topped in fucking December 2023, and like the NFTs never went higher.
Well, the NFTs all look like shit over there. Let's be honest. Like,
They
there's
look
nothing
like
that's good.
they look like those scam versions that we had
Yeah,
in
it all looks like
2021.
Fiverr art. The only I'm trying to think of what chain it was, but
Rugcore.
there was another chain outside of ETH that had NFTs on it, and a lot of the more prominent artists that were launching things on ETH through Art Blocks and other like platforms and Foundation and Super Rare, they also had NFTs over there. God, I can't think of it, which one it was. Anyway, they could have had a run on whatever chain this was on their chain, but the problem is that like nobody gave a shit. It was like towards the end that everyone started finding out like, oh, these big artists have really cheap NFTs over there. Like I still feel like it's the same way I felt back then. If you were there in the beginning, we were just buying the art because we liked the art, and then some mass wave of interest came in and pumped the shit out of it, a la you know, Suzu and Three Arrows and like anyone who wanted to follow them. And it's hard for me to imagine that we will have another crypto native fund that does something like that again, where they just start mass collect. Because I mean, look, like they already had to liquidate most of their shit via what was their art wing called? Can't think of it. But they had
But they were just buying like art
Vincent
blocks or
Van
something,
Doe. They
right?
had Vincent Van Doe and Cole that were running it.
I think they just called it the art block fund.
No. They had their own little thing. Starry Night Capital.
Mm.
And they had to liquidate most of their stuff during the whole FTX Three Arrow liquidation process that was going on. So I don't see another like crypto native fund doing something like that. Whereas I do see sometime in the future that happening with a set of meme coins. It's very, very possible because it's like a native tokens are inherently more liquid than art.
But how big was the fund? Like 100 million? Like, if you think about it, like, oh yeah, sure, it's like a huge fund, but these guys are
Yeah, it wasn't
trading
anything
billions of
crazy.
dollars. Yeah, like in the big scheme of things, it
But that's
wasn't like
the point,
gigantic.
right? Like NFTs are so illiquid that having a fund like that was willing to deploy, it created such a mass amount of liquidity and interest to buy assets at a much higher price than they should have been for a pretty significant period of time.
Yeah, it was like a year, right? It was like a whole year. More than 6 months, I think.
Yeah. We were minting things for less than an ETH and we were selling them for hundreds of ETH.
Yeah.
It was like one of the greatest like come ups and run ups that you could have been a part of.
Insane.
That was literally just being interested and being early paid you well if you were able to offload them. Like let's take Bored Apes for instance, right? Bored Apes, I got a custom ape from them. And at the time I got that because I just reached out and asked them. I just said like, hey, I saw, you know, so-and-so's ape that you made for them. And this is before they launched their mint and before they got really big. And I was just like, those are pretty cool. Would you make me one too? And they made me one. And like, then they got all the interest that they did and they ran up the way they did. And like, the only reason that I minted any apes was because they made me a custom one. So they made me the custom one. I thought it was really cool. So I'm like, I got to support these guys somehow. They didn't charge me anything for that. So I minted apes. And then it ran up, you know, insanely. And then they gave you all the all the free shit, which also ran up insanely. And you
Dude,
just haven't
whatever
had
happened with the metaverse that they promised?
other side. I think they're
Yeah.
still building that out. I think other side's pretty cool. Like if that actually comes to like full fruition, I think it was one of the better metaverses and like we'll just call it that. Like it was one of the better metaverses I think that have been
What
pushed
about
out.
Sandbox?
Bro, I made a lot on Sandbox playing around with that. Not even the assets, just like the way that they did the auctions for land. It was like a perfect opportunity to take advantage of others who were buying sand pre-auction and offloading it into property. All you had to do was buy after the auction ended and hold until pre-auction every week and sell into the auction, and you made money. You didn't have to take part in the auctions, didn't have to buy any land. But I did. I think I still have some like Sandbox plots that are like next to some of the bigger things. And I think Sandbox is pretty cool, but it's like I think those are all like projects that are like way ahead of their time. Like until gaming is fully on
Snoop Dogg
chain
got some
and like
land
that's
there.
just the world we live in. It's fine to be early, but like I feel like they're maybe like a decade early.
Yeah, you're almost too early. Yeah. Well, as we're talking on Kraken, ETH wicked almost $100 higher, 47.60 basically.
Woo!
Wow.
But now it's 46.75. But
Hmm.
wicked in the spot market. Somebody aped. I don't know how that keeps happening. Like
Why
somebody,
someone in the
There's-
US keeps slamming ETH on Kraken.
yeah, like with market orders every time, and you're like, guys. And Kraken's not illiquid. It's like I have to go see how much ETH it was, but it's not like 50 ETH is gonna move it, you know? You're gonna
Yeah.
have to do probably a few thousand. And how you got that execution. You're instantly down, whoever that was. Thanks for playing. But what a wild move, dude, from 2 weeks ago? Last week? As SPY
Yeah.
and the Qs were down, 1% a day or, 0.5%, maybe sometimes 2%. ETH was down 20% in like a week. And now it's the fucked up thing is ETH has rebounded like 21% and it's still 4,600. But Bitcoin, on the other hand, is at 125, showing all-time high.
Dogecoin out pumping both today. I'm in that.
What's the Doge?
It's 0.267, but I mean it's not even close to all-time high yet. But I like
$1,
Bitcoin.
right? $1 is
That's the target.
kilograms.
Yeah.
That's the target. No, so it looks
Crazy
like
world.
I mean we came down to the December highs and wicked. I don't know, I'm just on the 3-day, and then insta bounce off, kind of right back to where we were in the middle of August. It would be fucked up if we stayed like in this 48, 38 range, but once it gets going, it's gonna keep going.
I need to
Once
see
we get
Tom
past
Lee.
like 5K to
Yeah, I should say
5,500,
that,
like
Tom Lee,
faster.
exactly. I need to see Tom Lee on the timeline, on the Boomer timeline, which is the news networks, shilling ETH this week.
Well,
Give me those
they're up.
price
They
predictions.
bought a bunch again in that dip, so they're up on those buys for sure.
Old Tommy Lee.
But
Let's
what's
see.
the ETH market cap? The total ETH market cap is 500 billion. AMD's market cap today is 345 billion. Even after that? I think so. Yeah, 350. It's up 30% today. So yeah, it was like 200 something on Friday. So you think ETH is worth more than AMD?
Mm,
I think AMD should be going up a lot more.
Yeah, yeah, 500-600, right? Like now that they've, well, we talked
Trillion.
about it, I don't know, last week or whatever, and all it was gonna take was an announcement of AI, even if it didn't come to fruition this year and it was next year, but it's OpenAI and AMD. It says they're deploying 6 gigawatts of AMD GPUs in 2026. It's a multi-year, multi-generation. Okay, the initial 1 gigawatt is in 2026. And they just did their financials will be in November in about a month. So AMD, what's NVIDIA? 4.5 trillion? Like, are we in a bubble or are we in the middle of the bubble? Where are we in the AI bubbles? It's not over because everybody's still going crazy, right? But which inning of the AI bubble are we in?
the AI bubble, I still don't think it's even really started, dude.
Yeah, well, I think we're in like the
I
third
like
inning.
that talk.
Like, no, the game, like, you still have other countries that, developing countries that don't have any of this tech. They're still building data centers. They just announced Sora, the video one.
Did you see the Sora 2?
Yeah, it's what I
Scary,
mean.
bro.
Yeah, it's scary. That's like
Yeah.
much better than the AI videos we were getting, a year and a half ago. So we're still going.
Honestly, why is Elon posting those Grok videos when Sora 2 is doing what it's doing? Like, is he unaware?
It just pushes competition, right? So now Grok has to do better. They have to deploy more.
The Grok videos look like fucking. They look like AI before AI even existed. They're like not good.
Pre AI.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need to step it up.
Grok needs to
I had
step
to
his
mute
game
him,
up.
dude. I had to mute
Yeah.
him, dude. Elon, I had to mute him, dude. He was going too crazy on the timeline.
Yeah,
He still is. I mean, every like once in a while, my feed will start like showing me a lot of Elon stuff, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this guy?
How does he have the
It's more
time,
just
dude?
like, why do you feel like you need to comment on fucking everything?
Mm-hmm.
How do you have the time?
Well, you know how he has the time. He's just walking around fucking with his walking around with his phone out all day long at the old SpaceX plant, scrolling.
Dude, he needs an assistant that he just talks to and they live tweet it. That would be hilarious. So the bubbles, where does it end? No, like we haven't even seen like, I don't know, are we in the robotics hype? Is anybody liking robotics
Bro, I don't
over
think the
human
robotics
labor?
hype again has even like that's why I don't think that we're like even close to the top of this bubble, because like we haven't even bridged into like people being googly eyed over robotics, because the robotics still kind of suck. Like I've seen a lot of demos of like, I don't know if it's the Tesla space, like whatever Elon's robot is, like people trying it out, and it is just like it spurgs out all the time. I saw this really funny video of this influencer with one at his house, and it was like tripping over shit. Like he had to try to make food for him, and it was like cooking on the stove, and then just like spilt all the food out onto the floor. It like ran straight into a mirror, like. So I don't think that we've entered the robotics hype part of the cycle yet.
But those go hand in hand, like AI and robotics. But what's funny about AI is like we've had machine learning for years, right? AI is just another iteration of machine learning. It's not like I don't know, it's something God Almighty. And then we saw it in the form of like chatbots. Chatbots aren't necessarily the right format.
Yeah, chatbots led the crypto like AI hype cycle because I think it was the easiest to integrate. And same with agents. Like you had the agent hype, and now it's kind of died down a bit to where like developers are integrating agents in different ways into platforms, and like the general retail crypto user doesn't care that much because they don't even know what that means.
Yeah, they're just
Like
clicking
I was
red and green.
flaming everyone for it when it first started because I was like, man, you guys are like absolute retards. Like you're not even using agents. You're calling it an agent. It's just a fucking like API connected to ChatGPT.
Oh, I remember that arc. That was a good arc.
It was a great arc. I missed that cozy arc. I need to go back.
And where are they now? That one. They're dead, right? Nobody uses it, right?
He fuck no, I mean like I think a lot of people still probably use Eliza OS, but you don't hear much about it because there's no hype around it anymore. It was a marketing thing for a while for a lot of projects that they were integrating or using Eliza OS, and now you have AI just kind of being a normal thing. Like you have the project on Arbitrum called Telos that's got a fully automated like AI running treasury management thing. They're integrating like different yield strategies and vaults and things like that. And I think it'll just become more and more the norm. You saw Coinbase getting flamed for, I forgot what percentage of their code they said was like written by AI. I think it was
A
like close
high, a
to
high,
like
a high percentage. Yeah.
it was pretty high percentage, and they were getting flamed about it. But the like reality is that that's most companies right now, and
Hmm.
like it's fine if you have AI write a ton of your code. You just need like a human handler, is what I call it, right? Like you need humans who understand the code, who can go back and review it, and then edit, make changes, push the code that they need, rather than just relying on AI to get it right, because AI is great, but it needs the proper context. And if you, as a human, who are giving the prompts, don't give it full context or aren't there to review and make changes and update your context, if you're just doing one run and then pushing code, you're going to fuck everything up.
No, the best is fix this, and then it just writes slop. Okay, try it again. Okay, try. How many people are doing that kind of prompting versus like, oh, hey, I made this change. What do you think about it? Oh no, we can shorten it, by doing this, 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 instead of fix this, do this. It is broken. Test this. There's a different. There's way. Being a prompter is a full-time job. Is a totally different job.
I really thought that would be a like job that companies would start hiring for, like prompt engineering.
It's just a bunch of Zoomers that actually know what they're doing.
Dude, DK is really good at when it comes to creating visuals
Yeah.
via prompts. And I would guarantee he's probably just as proficient in like writing code with AI, because he really understands what the different platforms need and want from like a prompt engineer
He's
to
like a
give
master of
you
all trades.
what's that?
He's like a master of all trades.
For real. He has the time. So like when he wants to learn something, he takes the time to learn it.
Yeah.
And the thing is that like we needed whenever we need help in some certain area, he'll take some time to learn how to do that and start trying to contribute. But when AI really kind of piqued his interest with all of the publicly accessible infrastructure that came out, and he started spending a lot of his free time just playing around with different image generation, video generation, you know, code companion apps and things like that. And I haven't seen any of his outputs in a while, but he had a Discord for Midjourney where he was sharing a lot of the outputs he was doing so that you could use them as examples to create things. And they're really good. Like some of the anime stuff that he's made, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between the things that he got put, the things that he got outputted versus an artist who draws that kind of stuff.
Which one is the one for pictures they're using? Midjourney?
I think so. And that's what he was that was the main one he was using for when it came to image generation.
ChatGPT got a lot better at images since like a year ago.
Yeah, for sure. The thing with ChatGPT is that it doesn't do very well at editing an image after it created it. So like if you have
Yeah,
it
it like
create an image,
generates it all over again, and it's like random.
yeah, it exactly. It can't essentially use features that Photoshop would offer you to edit certain parts of an image that it already created. So when
Yeah.
you do like new runs, it ends up usually more fucked up than if you just prompted it correctly the first time. The best way to use ChatGPT for images is, give it a prompt, get something, save that image, and then give it that image again as the base image and reprompt what you want changed from that image. And then it usually does it much better than if you prompt something, it gives you the image, and then in the same conversation, you say, change this or change that, give me this on that. It will just fuck it up. I spent hours banging my head against fucking my computer trying to do shit like that until I realized that the best way to do it is just save the image, start a new chat, give it the image, and like prompt the way that you'd like it again. Let's see. What else is going on? We already talked about CME and their 24-hour futures.
Yeah, the beginning of the end.
The beginning of the end. I don't really have anything else.
How much is this AMD chip?
Bro, AMD is gonna. I'm telling you, AMD is going to probably start giving Nvidia, I wouldn't say a run for its money. I don't know if it's gonna play catch up all the way, but not financial advice. It already has started to with the new OpenAI partnership deal. But I think you're gonna start seeing AMD in the news a lot more. And
I just think that when NVIDIA is so backed up and when they're the talk of the town, like, oh, there can only be one chip provider. So like, why don't we go to these other company? It does, 90% of the work for a lesser price. Let's push it. Same thing with Alibaba, right? Like, oh, Chinese companies can't buy NVIDIA chips now, so they're like, okay, well, we'll pick up the slack. And dude, that stock is up like so much. It's almost doubled since June. Almost. It's up 80% since June in 3 months. I think there was some front running to the announcement. I think the announcement was like at the end of August, but even from the end of August, it's up 57%, dude, from their earnings when they announced that they're gonna start a chip competitor to NVIDIA. And it's not like there has to be one chip company that runs the world, right? So I think you're seeing NVIDIA down like something small today because of the news. Yeah, down 0.3%, but I don't think that changes, the 5-year outlook.
what's this thing
So-
about Deribit you shared, Denton? Their let's see. Disclaimer: Deribit
I don't know why they posted that.
is licensed by Virtual Assets Regulatory Authority for virtual asset exchange services, but does not offer derivatives to retail investors. DRB Panama Inc. is unregulated and serves retail and non-retail investors. Virtual assets are highly volatile, carry significant risk.
Like a disclaimer, like, are they
that.
gonna post this every day now?
They are not insured or
They,
protected.
they-
I think
they have been
anytime they
licensed
post-
for a while, right?
Well, that's what they're saying. They have a license
Yeah,
to serve
yeah.
institutional investors and
Mhm.
accredited investors, but when it comes to retail and non-retail investors, they are probably using you're not covered.
Hmm.
No, depending on how much money you push or the type of your account, you're onboarded with the various entities. So, if you were an institution, you got moved from Panama to Dubai, and if you're just retail, you're still on the Panama entity. But all the C-level guys moved to Dubai. Um, I'm sure they still have an office in Panama, but the big players moved to Dubai. Interesting company for sure. They're from the Netherlands. They started in the Netherlands. They moved to Panama because, little to no regulation or at least some legal framework for a derivatives exchange. And then moved to Dubai when the VASP license came out. I'm still not like sold on all of these licenses. Like it's kind of like these gaming licenses from these islands, like these online casinos. Like they just buy a license, but they're not really like living there or have an office there or hiring local people. Like they're just paying for a license. Dubai's a
Yeah.
little different because you're moving people to Dubai, but like it's not like a US or a what's the Euro one, the Mika license.
Yep.
It's not up at those levels. It's just like an option. But Coinbase bought them, so obviously it's good, right?
It's an interesting purchase for a fully regulated U.S. exchange. You would think they'd move them to the U.S., but
But was it Coinbase International that bought them? That's the
that's a
thing.
good question.
Yeah, like okay, Coinbase International, so it's not the US entity, it's the one that offers perps. Or I'm not sure their structure, or is it all owned by Coinbase US? I'm not sure how their structure is set up.
Yeah, I haven't looked into that either.
Because maybe that's why their revenue sucks.
Still better than Gemini.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, Coinbase offers the 24-hour, the thing that the CME is offering, Coinbase offers it. This 24-hour dated future, 24 it's BitMEX has had this for years. A
Yeah.
24-hour future, dated future. It just was never on CME or a US exchange. So I'm surprised that BitMEX volume is still like so low. And even Bitfinex too, right? BitMEX and Bitfinex, like only like mega OGs still trade there.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when Bitfinex kind of ran the market.
Yeah, the
That was
Bitfinex
back
whales
in
are
like,
bidding and all that.
yeah, for sure. Like everyone was trading on Bitfinex. I feel like it was Bitfinex, Bittrex, Kraken, and then Binance kind of came out.
Binance
Okay.
is leader by far.
Yeah, now Binance is the leader. They just started. The thing was that they were the only ones willing to start listing alts. Like, while Bittrex and really, I will say, it seems like they ate a lot of Bittrex's lunch, as well as still some volume for everyone else. But Bittrex was like we used to use them as a heat check. Like, if Bittrex had it, we knew that we were safe to list it on like a wallet exchange side. And if Bittrex was delisting it, then it was probably a good idea to get rid of it. Like, if you wanted to stay in not even warm water, right? Like, um, so we often would use them as a heat check. Whereas Binance didn't care. Binance was like, people are trading it, let's make fees on it. And that's what the market wanted. They wanted a centralized exchange to trade alts. But
Like right here, BitMEX 24-hour volume is 400 million on a perp.
still, right
And
now,
Yeah, 400 million. That's not that much.
I'm surprised that like I don't hear anyone talk about BitMEX anymore.
But ETH is 71 million and Solana is 22 million. You know, it falls off fast, right? Like super, super fast. It's literally just to trade coin margin Bitcoin contracts. But other exchanges, I think OKX offers coin margin perps. Deribit offers it. Deribit's volume's not that much. It's funny to see that the new class is going away from coin margin contracts in perps. Like, oh, you're making USD, sure, but like imagine you were running it up right now and Bitcoin's 125 and you were trading coin margin contracts this whole time, you're stacking Bitcoin, you're double dipping as it goes up. You're double losing when it goes down in USD terms, but
Well, I think
It's-
that goes to show the type of clientele that are bidding now, right? Like before it was like cypherpunk, crypto native people, and their goal was always to acquire more BTC. And now you have people that are like they're worried about their tax liability and having cash in the bank and you know, like people who are used to holding US dollars. So I think are trading more of a USDT base than trading against BTC.
Well, and it's a different kind of fund, right? Like, I don't know, let's say you raise a fund. Okay, you take in $100. Let's keep it simple. If you make $10, you made 10%, amazing. But if you're okay, how many Bitcoin did you make? And then Bitcoin's down 50%. And then, your USD accounting is absolutely screwed, where unless you raise Bitcoin and you're trying to grow Bitcoin, right? But on an accounting basis, it's much, much easier, just, USD in, USD out.
Yeah. I gotta go, boys. I gotta hop
Alright.
onto another call, but we will be back
Bye-bye.
Wednesday. What else do we have on the docket this week? We've got
Options talk. I gotta confirm the guest today. I'll send it to you, Danton. Any media updates from Weka? I think he'll be posting. And are we doing community call or that's next week?
a community call this
Um,
Thursday,
Maybe
2
Thursday,
p.m.
yeah.
EST.
Dude, we jumped like 200 viewers in like the last 10 minutes. I don't know how this
Because we
thing
started
works.
talking about coin margin contracts.
Euros and disbelief.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Catch you later.